All right, guys, back for another video. This time we're talking about diamond distribution. Now, we all know that there's been problems with diamond for a little while now when they closed down one of their shipping hubs. And it's been causing delays pretty much ever since, I think, early December. There has been a break of silence on from Diamond, and we're going to see what they got to say as reported by CBR.com. So they quote, "This process is not working as it needs to, obviously, but modifying it takes time," admits Diamond Distributors Chris Powell in an unsettling new message to retailers that pulls back the curtain on the distributors' ongoing production meltdowns. He says, "We must make changes and test them with live data," sir, that's data, "and shipments while trying to minimize the impact on retailers." The acknowledgement comes amid widespread delays across America, leaving comic book store shelves empty and readers frustrated. I can tell you personally that here where I live on East Canada, that that my shop shipment comes from the exact spot that they had closed down. And I can tell you that comic books have been delayed several times at that shop, where they don't get them on Tuesday. Sometimes they get them a day or two late. The files aren't ready, the pull lists aren't done. It's kind of a hassle when everything sort of hangs on New Comic Book Wednesday. Now it's just New Comic Book whenever they get here day, The crisis is ongoing since early December, and it's Diamond's doing. The distribution stalwart abruptly closed its Plattsburgh distribution center during an already busy winter season, leaving a black hole, son, where the supply chain used to be. Powell's lengthy update revealed a labyrinth system of periodicals arrived just days before release, forcing a too complex, unsustainable as staff system to fall apart at its seams. So I took a quick look at this, and we will read it, but basically what he's saying is that publishers and people are getting books to them late or barely on time, and it's causing hiccups, right? Well, let's see the statement here. Following the recent changes, many have had questions about why things haven't shipped from the distribution center as quickly as we or you need them to. Periodicals that we don't receive directly from the various printers, periodicals from publishers who sell to us through other wholesalers arrive to us over the weekend or as late as Monday or the following week's releases. We deal with a much wider selection of products, both print and non-print, than other distributors that leads to a delay or misrouted deliveries that must be dealt with before the picking and the packing of the orders can begin. Retailers who are furthest away from the center are picked first, then the next furthest, and then the next, and so on. They are picked and packed, and then handed off to trucking companies for delivery, and thus the process begins again. Yeah, and you need to get a handle on getting these books out on time. I don't know why, and maybe someone in the comments can tell me, that distribution center in Plattsburgh was closed in the first place. The process is not working as it needs to, obviously, but modifying it takes time. Ideally, changes would have been planned and tested while we continue to operate as we had been at Plattsburgh. With that no longer an option, we must make changes and test them with live data and shipments while trying to minimize the impact on retailers. In other words, we're just going to wing it. You know what I mean? We are considering many options, and they will almost certainly involve additional changes from the way we have operated in the past. I assure you, this is the primary focus for our operations, purchasing, and retailer service teams, and we will keep you in the loop as further developments happen. We appreciate how difficult these changes have been for our retailer partners and wish very much that we did not have to go through this with you at the busiest time of year. Your patience and positive attitudes throughout this process are very much appreciated, and I will continue to reach out as there are changes or progress to share with you. Not exactly the best statement in the sense of providing morale to fix a bad situation. They didn't offer any fix here, to be honest with you, other than we're going to try and move differently. And we're going to move differently throughout the year. So again, I don't know what happened to that other facility, like where it got shut down. Someone in the chat, in the comments, can let me know. But retailers, just listening to Beyond Wednesday, shout out to the Beyond Wednesday show, just listening to them And he has retailers on all the time. You have Jesse James Comics and you have Dennis. And these guys will tell you how it really is out there in the brick and mortar comic book market. And it's amazing insight, by the way. So I wonder what they're going to think about this statement. Maybe I'll have a chance to ask one of them. The impact on local shops has been devastating. Not only due to delays dampen sale flows, but the product eventually delivered has missed the mark, presumably due to rush production. Every single book was completely damaged. This is something if you watch Beyond Wednesdays, this is a complaint that happens all the time. And I can tell you, comp copies that I've gotten from AP have been damaged. And I know it's probably not their fault. It's likely that's how they arrived, which is, again, bad on Diamond's part. Reports Route 66 Comics and Collectibles in Oklahoma fighting the quality control issues under the current system. In Iowa, Rodman's Comics, Rob Lombardi, describes the 8 weeks of chaos mirrored by stranded shipments. The crisis has forced select retailers to seek alternative distributors. Lunar, in particular, earned a shout-out from owners via Bleeding Cool for successfully delivering Transformers on time. It's pretty bad when the mark of greatness is, can you just get us the books by Wednesday or ready for Wednesday? This system did work for a long, long time. I can't remember too many times when books were late, outside of, acts of God or holiday. You know what I mean? Normally, Diamond has functioned pretty well for decades. I know people have always been unhappy with them, but they've managed to be and have, or once have, the monopoly on comic book distribution in the direct market. That has changed. They brought up Lunar here. And I know other small press publishing companies are trying to get into Lunar, including AP. And it'd be nice to see that eventually happen and that we can get in there. But until that day, we do rely on Diamond to get these books out to you and out to the shops. So we kind of need Diamond to get their shit together is basically what I'm saying here. As Diamond attempts to rebuild the proverbial car while driving, Powell's transparency offers little comfort to shops, bearing the burdenous disruptions. Diamond's stronghold on the industry leaves little flexibility for store owners, with some stores receiving timely shipments while others face severe delays. The inconsistency has created a lack of clarity and instability among retailers. The future of comic distribution hangs in a balance as Diamond implements untested solutions in real time. For an industry built on reliability and routine, which is kind of what I just went over a few minutes ago, these growing pains could reshape how comics could reach readers in 2025. Well, I suspect more delays, so don't think that won't happen. Hopefully, like I said, though, they get their shit together and they find a system that works, because we do need Diamond to sort of survive. I know there are other distributors out there like Lunar, like Penguin Random House, so on and so forth. But a lot of small publishers still to this day rely on Diamond. Even Marvel relies on Diamond in their international distribution. DC, strictly through Lunar as I understand it now. But Diamond still deals with some of these other larger companies, even though it looks like they may have walked away. They've only walked away in certain areas and certain aspects. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. I mean, I know there's lots of Diamond hate out there, but do you think they will eventually get their shit together? Or is this the end of the road for Diamond distribution? I want to know. And while you go ahead and write me those great comments, stay tuned for a word from our sponsor. Well, if you haven't guessed it, today's sponsor is me. That's right, I am today's sponsor of the video. As always, we want to talk to you about Nyobi. This time, not about the eBay store, but our upcoming Kickstarter. That's right, on February 14th. That is the day we're looking at launching. We plan to launch the fourth part of the Outbreak series, Nyobi Outbreak number 4 of 5. This thing is almost a wrap. Guys, come join us for the journey as old faces and new collide in a world that is bent on supremacy. Genome supremacy, to be in fact. And if you do come over and back our Kickstarter, the one promise I can make to you is we definitely deliver. There would be no 4-year waits for our books, okay, guys? We generally hit our estimated delivery time when we say we're going to hit it. And we always keep people in the loop. You won't be ghosted. You won't be ignored. And you'll get some great books in the process. You know, the testimonials speak the truth. I speak the truth. Nyobi speaks the truth. Come by February 14th for Nyobi Outbreak number 4. And if you do hit our eBay store, that wouldn't hurt either. Peace.